Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Hey there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media. And today I am doing a probably way too premature Golden Globes winners prediction video. Yeah, I'm just going to go with my gut. There's very little data to go on. These are the first big televised show of the season anyway, so usually you kind of go from what wins here onward. Golden Globes is often a crapshoot, but the new Golden Globes, as I will refer to them, is not the HFPA anymore. It is 300 plus journalists from around the world now who seem to have a substantially better taste in films. Their picks are a lot more international. They seem a lot less gift baited because they were in trouble for accepting so many gifts and bribes and such in the past, hence what was the downfall of the HFPA in the first place, on top of the whole, racism thing. So I'm just going to go through category by category. So let's just jump into Best Motion Picture Drama. The nominees here are Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, and The Zone of Interest. There are 6 nominees now as opposed to 5. I'm not a huge fan of that, but whatever. So what do I think is going to win here? I honestly think it's down to 2 things. It seems like Killers of the Flower Moon or Oppenheimer is going to win here. Anatomy of a Fall, Zone of Interest, it's awesome that they got into this category. I don't think they're going to win here. Past Lives seems like just too small of a movie to actually win. I think the nominations, everywhere it's going to get in this year, is the win for that movie. I doubt it's going to actually win any major awards outside of maybe the Indie Spirit Awards or anything like that. And Maestro just seems like a movie that's going to get nominated a lot and maybe not win too much, at least as far as the Best Picture and Directing awards go. So I'm going to go, I don't know if they're going to split. That's the thing. I think I'm just going to go with Oppenheimer on this one. I would not be surprised if Killers won either. The Golden Globes like Martin Scorsese movies more than the Oscars do, but this is an entirely different Golden Globes body we're talking about. So you can't really go on the past. This is like year 1 of a new Golden Globes. So I'm going to go with Oppenheimer for Best Picture. So for Best Picture Musical or Comedy, the nominees are Air, American Fiction, Barbie, The Holdovers, May December, and Poor Things. May December is not a comedy, but it's a good movie, so I'm glad I got in, I guess. Air is a solid dad movie, as I always refer to it. It's a good studio film. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing special about it. Let's put it that way. It's a movie you can watch and you'll have a good time, and everyone in it's good, and it's written well, and it's edited a lot. I don't know if it's edited well, but it's definitely edited. American Fiction I have yet to see. Very excited to see that. Same goes for Poor Things, which goes wide this weekend. I really hope I could see it this weekend, but being so close to Christmas, etc., I doubt that's going to end up happening. Of course. And The Holdovers I thought was great. But I think, given the fact that Poor Things seems to be a likely winner at the Oscars for many a category, it's going to get in everywhere and potentially win many places. Barbie's absurd amount of nominations, not only here, but at the Critics' Choice. They got 9 here and 18 at Critics' Choice, which is ridiculous. I think it's going to be one of those 2 movies that wins. You want to say Barbie because it got in so many places, but I think they will go with Poor Things for Best Picture Musical or Comedy. If it's Barbie, it would not surprise me one bit. If it's any of the other 4, then it would be surprising. But I'm going to go with Poor Things because if Poor Things can't even win here, it's going to have that much more trouble winning Best Picture at the Oscars. Best Motion Picture Animated, we have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Suzumi, Super Mario Brothers movie, and Wish. The only 2, every category has 2 things that can win, apparently. I think it's between Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Boy and the Heron. I think they will take the more populist route here and go with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. You can't go wrong with that. It's a great movie. Boy and the Heron has a chance. It showed up in more than one category. I think the other 4 are just here to play along. Some of those might not even make it in at the Oscars. Like there's 6 movies here, only 5 can make it in at the Oscars, and it's possible that only 3 of these 6 are in those 5. You never know. So I think they're going to go with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse here. The Cinematic Box Office Achievement Award is a joke, and I'm going to skip that because it's stupid. We're going to go on to Best Motion Picture Non-English Language, Anatomy of a Fall, Fallen Leaves, El Capitano, or Lo Capitano, excuse me. Past Lives, which is an American movie and shouldn't be in this category, but they have weird rules. Society of the Snow, and The Zone of Interest. Given the fact that 3 of these 6 are also in Best Picture Drama, that narrows it down a lot. Past Lives shouldn't win here because it's not a foreign language film or an international film. It's weird that they have weird category rules. The Zone of Interest is a little too divisive. I think it's going to go with what's been winning these awards everywhere and go with Anatomy of a Fall on this one. Best Performance by a Lead Actress in a Drama Film. We have the nominees Annette Bening, Kaylee Spaney, Carey Mulligan. We have the nominees Annette Bening for Naiad, Kaylee Spaney for Priscilla, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, Greta Lee for Past Lives, Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon, and Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. So you get other nominations in there, which just helps that film get its International Film Prize. Are they going to go with the critics here? I think this category, since it's split between drama and comedy, only helps Lily Gladstone take this one. I see a very potential future where she sweeps every single televised award. She's been winning essentially every lead actor award, whether or not it's separated by gender. She has been winning most of them. So I think her televised streak will start here, and it could easily be the one and only thing Killers of the Flower Moon ends up winning on Oscar night too. Best performance by a male actor in a drama, we have Andrew Scott for All of Us Strangers, Barry Keoghan for Saltburn, Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, and Leo DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon. I think at least 4 of these guys will get in at the Oscars for Best Actor. That seems to be the way it's going. I think this might finally be Bradley Cooper's year for Best Actor. I'm going to go with him on this one. It could easily be the one thing Maestro wins, at least at the Globes. It has several nominations. If it doesn't win anything, that would be kind of sad. It happens, obviously, every year. But every other movie seems like it's going to win something, at least as far as the bigger Best Picture contenders go. But Bradley Cooper, I really hope when I see Maestro, which comes out on Netflix tomorrow, I believe. No, Wednesday. It's Monday. It comes out on the 20th, whatever day it is. It'll be on Netflix. I'm going to watch it that day because I can at home and it's convenient. And I hear nothing but amazing things about the movie, specifically his performance, and he should have won Best Actor, in my opinion, for A Star is Born, and he has been nominated for, I want to say, 9 Oscars in various categories, and is yet to win one. So I think this might be the year he finally wins, and it'll probably win the corresponding Best Makeup Award that seems to go with every Best Actor winner these days. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, we have Alma Poisty from Fallen Leaves. I probably pronounced that wrong, but very cool an international actress got into this category. It shows a lot of things are different with the Golden Globes committee, whatever you want to call them, voting body. There we go. Emma Stone for Poor Things, Fantasia Barrino for The Color Purple, Jennifer Lawrence for No Hard Feelings, Margot Robbie for Barbie, and Natalie Portman for May December. A lot of people probably think Margot Robbie's going to win this everywhere she possibly can, just given the success of Barbie. And she is very good in Barbie. I have nothing against her performance whatsoever. But from what I've heard, since I haven't had a chance to see, I've heard nothing but ridiculously impressive things from Emma Stone in Poor Things. And it's another case where if it only wins one thing, I think Poor Things is going to win Best Actress for Emma Stone at the Oscars. And her winning here with the separate categories just makes even more sense. So I'm going to go with Emma Stone for Poor Things for Best Actress in a Comedy Musical. Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy, we have Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction, Joaquin Phoenix for Beau is Afraid, Matt Damon for Air, Nicolas Cage for Dream Scenario, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, and Timothée Chalamet for Wonka, which at first I thought looked terrible, and I've heard pretty okay things about, so I'm warming up to seeing it at some point. I think it's down to two, yet again. These two will be nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars, at least I hope. It seems like they will be. Let's hope so. Paul Giamatti, who's desperately overdue for a Best Actor nomination at the Oscars for The Holdovers, since he was snubbed for Sideways damn near 20 years ago. And Jeffrey Wright will hopefully get his very first Oscar nomination for American Fiction. One of those two will win. Holdovers is the bigger film. Overall, it seems like at the moment, things may change. So I am going to hedge my bets in that area. I'm going to go Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers for the win here, because even though they are a different people than they were, the Golden Globes like Paul Giamatti. He has won many times in the past for film and television, so that can't hurt his chances. He's a Golden Globes favorite, and he's deserving for the win, and he's overdue for an Oscar. All those things rolled into one make him seem like a slightly better pick than Jeffrey Wright. But if Jeffrey Wright wins, that'll be awesome too, because he's an amazing character actor who's finally getting his due. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role. We have Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers, Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Jodie Foster for Nyad, Julianne Moore for May December, and Rosamund Pike for Saltburn. It seems like from these options and what's been winning everywhere so far, even though nothing matters and nothing is correlated and nothing is the Academy until you get to the Guild Awards, Divine Joy Randolph is all but sweeping the supporting role awards. If it's an actress specific one, she wins. If it's a mixed gender one, it's either her or Charles Melton that wins. So I'm going to go Divine Joy Randolph here for The Holdovers. And I'll repeat myself again. If there is one thing that The Holdovers does end up winning at the Oscars, because I don't think Paul Giamatti is going to win at the Oscars, sadly, I love him, but I don't think he will. Divine Joy Randolph is that one win that I think The Holdovers is going to get when it all comes down to the Oscars. I'll probably be more accurate 3 months in advance than I will be when I actually make my final predictions, so make sure you recorded all this. Download these videos and such. Best performance by an actor in a supporting role. We have Charles Melton, who I mentioned for May December, Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Willem Dafoe for Poor Things. 5 of these 6 crossed over with the Critics' Choice. Willem Dafoe got bumped for Sterling K. Brown. So I think those other 5, not just because that's what's happening, but those were the 5 I had in my head anyways for the Oscars. I think they're the ones who are going to go all the way. Ryan Gosling could easily win for his very good comedic performance. Mark Ruffalo, I hear, is also hysterically funny. In Poor Things, he steals the show when he's on screen. But I think this is, although Charles Melton's winning a lot of critics awards and a lot of early awards like the Gothams and such, he could win here. The Golden Globes like hot young new actors, and he fits that perfectly. If this was the Golden Globes of 4 years ago, I would be not surprised whatsoever if Charles Melton won. I mean, I still wouldn't be because he's deserving. But I think this is going to be the televised sweep beginning of Mr. Robert Downey Jr. all the way to the Oscars. Oppenheimer is going to win a few awards, at least, in the long run. And I think Robert Downey Jr. will be the acting award that film does win. And he is, once again, a very overdue actor who's been working for about 40 years now in the industry, which is crazy. Thinking of that, and he's finally getting back into his dramatic roles, and the very first one he did after Iron Man, essentially, was Oppenheimer, and he knocked it out of the park like he hasn't done since Chaplin. Good on him if he wins. I really hope that happens, and no one will have more fun speeches to watch on TV than Robert Downey Jr., and that, once again, can only help him. But that's a great category. I don't know why, but supporting actor always ends up being my favorite acting category. It just usually works out that way. And as far as like the nominees go and the winners, it's so weird. It's a thing. It's a trend for me. Best Director Motion Picture, we have Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Celine Song for Past Lives, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Greta Gerwig for Barbie, Martin Scorsese for The Killers of the Flower Moon, and Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. 5 of these people could easily be the Oscar 5. There's 10-ish directors who are in the running, I would say. These are 6 of them. Let's just put it that way. And I think It's his year finally. All of you Nolan fans, the Nolan stands. I love Christopher Nolan. I've loved his movies since Memento when I first saw that in theaters. I'm never one to say he's like the best filmmaker of all time, and I'm a huge fanboy, but I am a fanboy of Christopher Nolan. And this is the perfect film to award him Best Director for, finally, after all of these years. He missed it for Dunkirk. He didn't get nominated for things like he should have, like Inception. Oppenheimer is the best possible movie to award him Best Director for. It is the culmination of everything he's good at in one movie. So Christopher Nolan, I think, even if it doesn't win Best Picture, here and everywhere else, he will be sweeping Best Director this year. Best Screenplay for a Motion Picture, we have Celine Song for Past Lives. This seems to be her guaranteed nomination here and at the Oscars. Even if she doesn't make that Best Director cut, I think she'll get her screenplay nomination, which is cool. Christopher Nolan again for Oppenheimer. Eric Roth and Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon. Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach for Barbie. Justine Triet and Arthur Harari for Anatomy of a Fall. And Tony McNamara for Poor Things. This is actually a more difficult category because these are all really good nominees, and they merge all of them into one category here. Oof, this is one that could go, honestly, any direction. I have no idea who to pick here. I don't think they would go Past Lives for the win. I don't think they would do Anatomy of a Fall for the win. I think it's down to the other four. Just kind of depends on which way they're going. Do they want an Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer domination sweep? Is Barbie going to sweep the comedy side while Oppenheimer sweeps the drama side, and then they meet in the end in the screenplay category? Who knows? But for no reason whatsoever, I'm going to go with. I'm trying to think future, like what's going to win at the Oscars, and I have no idea what's going to win any of these awards at the Oscars. Two of the things I think might win original screenplay at the Oscars already been nominated here, and that screws everything up. I don't know if they would give Barbie a screenplay win at the Oscars. It's a little wonky, not just because it's a Barbie movie, but I think there's things in it that aren't perfect as far as a winning screenplay should have. Oppenheimer is a very visual film, and Killers of the Flower Moon is a very well adapted movie taken from a different perspective of the book, which is an interesting way to tell the story. So I thought that is cool about it. So because of that, I might go with Killers of the Flower Moon, because not only do they get this movie a win, they also give Martin Scorsese an award, and they don't have to give him one in Best Director or Best Picture. And this is like a little loophole around that. So I'm just going to go, for no reason whatsoever, other than that, with Martin Scorsese. I might change my mind once things start winning everywhere else, but like I said, this is the first televised award show, so it's anyone's game here. It's a crapshoot in this mixed screenplay category. So I'm just going to go Killers of the Flower Moon, and if I'm wrong, whatever. I'm not surprised whatsoever. All great nominees. Original score for motion picture, we have Daniel Pemberton for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I'm ecstatic he got in, and will hopefully get in at the Oscars. Jerskin, I want to say Justin, Jerskin Fendrix, that's a name, for Poor Things. Joe Hisashi for Boy and the Heron. Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer. Mika Levi for The Zone of Interest, which is interesting because it only has like 10 minutes of original score, and the rest of the music is technically sound design, but I love that it got nominated because that is cool. And Robbie Robertson for Killers of the Flower Moon. This is another one, I think, since the music plays such a huge part of the film, I'm going to go with Oppenheimer on this one. It seems like sort of the populist pick, but it seems like an easy award for it to win along with its potential Best Picture package, you could say. Original song motion picture, we have Addicted to Romance, She Came to Me by Bruce Springsteen. From the film She Came to Me, we have the three Barbie songs, Dance the Night, I'm Just Ken, and What Was I Made For? Peaches from the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Road to Freedom from Rustin. That seems to be the only other thing Rustin's going to get in for besides Best Actor here and at the Oscars. I hope Peaches gets in at the Oscars because it's hilarious, and I want Jack Black to be an Oscar nominee. She Came to Me probably won't win because I don't know what it is, and no one has seen it, apparently. Three Barbie songs cannot get in at the Oscars, only two can, so I'm going to X-nay Dance the Night from the possible winners. I think it will be a Barbie song, unless they split the vote and something else ends up winning, which could happen with three of them. What Was I Made For is seems like the more Academy-friendly song. Like it's the more dramatic song. But I'm Just Ken is the musical moment of the year song. So I'm going to go with I'm Just Ken at the Golden Globes. because we all want to see Ryan Gosling sing that live on stage, I'm sure. And that is all of the Golden Globe predictions for the film side of things. I may do one for the TV side, but I'm not as big into TV, so I'd be really pulling answers out of my butt for that one. As far as the films go, those are my predictions, and they honestly probably will stay the same for the most part until showtime comes on January 7th. I won't be doing a live stream through the entire show, but you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be doing at least a immediately afterwards live stream reaction to the winners, or a very early the next morning live stream reaction to the winners. One of the two, if not both. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.